Hey guys, Sonyx here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Today I'm going to be giving you, a new movement guide for Apex Legends Season 29. Now this is well overdue. I'm so glad that we're doing this because this season has a lot of new movement tech, especially this new Legend Axle. So I think it's time. The last one we did was probably like over a year ago, so it's time that we do an updated one. The very first thing before anything else is to go to your settings and make sure you go to your gameplay. And then you're going to make sure your always sprint is on and then your auto run is off, okay? Now, if you're playing a controller, which I know a lot of you guys are, mouse and keyboard, you don't really need to worry about anything. I should make a mouse and key movement guide in the future, but for right now, we're just setting on controller. The button layout, whatever is comfortable for you, okay? Everyone has their preference. I'm going to go ahead and kind of link on the top right my most recent controller settings guide, if you want to check that out. At the end of this video, I'm going to link that as well. So if you want to get updated settings for that. But other than that, I think that, whatever is comfortable, some people really like evolved or button puncher. So just mess around with which is easiest for you. But for me, I like to stick on default. Now, make sure your crouch is set to toggle. This is actually a debate. Some people like on hold, some people like on toggle. I like mine personally on toggle, but mix and match. Like I said, try these movement techs out with my settings first and always change it later if you don't like it. And that's it. Once you have these settings, you can go to this spot in the firing range. It should be like, this is where you spawn in there. Let's go over there. And just slide down and then go to the right. And then you could just go to this little area here. And then once you get here, this is going to be the best way to practice all this movement techniques. The very first movement tech that I should probably show you guys is, if you have not mastered the wall bounce yet, this is it. This is the wall bounce. This is the quintessential kind of what Apex is known for, the wall bounce. Because, not a lot of games have this tech. This is not Titanfall, where you can start wall running and stuff, but it's close. I mean, we're, you could do some awesome kills with this thing. So, if you're pushing a guy, he's not going to expect you. If you're running away, if you try to get away here, you get a little bit more momentum that way. So the wall bounce is very, very crucial to learn. Now, to be able to do this one correctly, it's not too hard. You're just going to want to make sure you know how to slide jump. So all you need to do with slide jumping is to walk forward a little bit and you slide and then you jump. That's it. My binds are on the left-hand side there, by the way, if you want to be able to see, what you do correctly. And you just slide jump. That's it. So just run, you slide, and then you jump. You run, you slide, you jump. Now, Axel is probably the best legend I would recommend practicing some of these movement techs on, because she's the easiest way to teach if you're a beginner movement player, because she has no dead slides. That's it. She's literally the easiest character to do it. No dead slides at all on her. It's insane. So just practice on Axel, and once you get to that slide, just jump. That's it. So you're just going to slide, and then you jump. Run, and you slide, and then you jump. You run, slide. My gosh, slides feel so much faster on R2. So yeah, once you get the hang of that, do it on a wall. So you see, remember the gray bar I told you guys? Just run, slide, and then fall down. Run, slide, and then fall back down. Your left-hand stick that you're going to want to make sure you do is to make sure you actually look at the wall itself. Okay? Once you hit that wall, put your stick back. Now, if you put your stick back, if you time it right, you're just going to end up falling down to the ground because you're not climbing the wall. If you have your stick forward, look what happens. You're going to climb, which you do not want to do. Sometimes if you want to hold the wall bounce a little longer, yeah, if you want, some people do that. But you're going to want to fall down, okay? Once you fall down, not fall down, once you hit your stick back, you're going to press the exact same time your jump button again, okay? So for me, that's the letter A there. And for some people, if you're playing on PlayStation, that could be, an X. So I'm just showing you once, I'm not jumping yet, but once I jump and connect it together, there you go. So I'm putting my stick back as soon as I hit the wall and then jumping at the same time. And if I do that correctly, then I should be able to get the wall bounce really, really well. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Try it with Axel's new movement. I mean, she's insane. So get a lot of momentum like this. You just redirect, and this is on controller. So this is, there's a lot of mouse and keyboard players now that can tap strafe and do all that stuff. This is how you start to compete against that. and start to pull off really cool clips. Now, implementally, how to do this in fights is to just get over objects like this. That prevents you from having to get in a situation where you're having to run and climb this thing and then you get shot in the back, right? Because now you can get away for free. Like if you wall bounce correctly, okay? Obviously in that scenario, it was in a right there, that's perfect. So use it to get around places quick. And then another way is to use it to attack. So a wall bounce breaks ankles easily. And then, like that. Just make sure you land your shots too. But if you wall bounce on someone, most likely you're going to end up landing those shots first. And the opponent is going to be stuck tracking you in the air, or they just get psychologically juked out and they're like, whoa, hold on. Someone just wall bounced on me. And it freaks them out a little bit. And then they sell their aim. So, practice your wall bounces in this spot in the range, and practice just pushing the bots, running away, getting over this platform, clearing it, making sure that you actually end up not climbing like that. That's a bad thing to do. Just practice, really lasering your movement just a little bit more in this spot in the range. Once you get the hang of the wall bounce, you're going to start implementing that in your game, and you're going to realize, well, I wish I learned this a long time ago, because this is the kind of the quintessential movement trick in Apex. It's not the most important, because sometimes if you're in a close range situation, just going to be a little too close to you, right? So you have no time. If this guy right here is shooting at you, you have no time to run back here and then, all right, hold on, sir, let me just pull the wall bounce off real quick, and then I'll shoot you. There's not enough time. There's no time at all to react. So in certain scenarios, you have to pull off something called the fatigue wall bounce, where you're fighting a guy, and then bam, you pull off a wall bounce in front of him. Not like Sonic. Wait, I thought you need to slide into that. No, if you just need to get in a position where sliding into it to get to this angle, the gray bar, like I showed you, there's a way to get into that gray bar without having to slide. It's called the fatigue wall bounce. So to be able to do this, all you have to really do is just jump. Look at this. So go to this spot in the range, this little dot, this little orange dome, and then look at this dot with if you're with your melee button out. Okay, and then once you're here, just jump once. Do you see how you could see the blue target in the back? See the blue target? That blue target signifies that you're currently in a full jump. Okay, you're not in fatigue mode, because I'm jumping every like 1 to 2 seconds. Now, if I jump a second time faster, so I jump once and I keep jumping, I don't clear this wall anymore. I can't see. I'm in fatigue mode. If I wait a little bit and then I jump, then I'm back. Then I wait a little bit, I jump, and then. But if you keep jumping, you're in something called fatigue mode. Which is a really cool thing, because if you're in this mode, look, if I jump, I'm over this gray bar, right? If I fatigue, I'm looking at that bar. Doing the slide jump is essentially putting you at that same level of just jumping like this. So if you keep jumping after your first jump, or you just jump a second time, you don't have to keep jumping, you guys. If this guy's looking at you, just jumping, now you look like a bot. But if you just jump once and you jump a second time, or third or fourth, whatever, and then you run up the wall, a wall bounce is pulled off without having to slide. See that? See how powerful that is? And guess what? This stacks. You can do unlimited. So I'm gonna go here, and then as soon as I land, I'm actually in fatigue mode. So you don't have to jump a second, third, fourth, fifth time after you land. So I jump, I'm in fatigue mode here. Technically, I can just jump again. I could just jump again. I could just jump again. And then this becomes unlimited, right? What if you get really good at this and you start just lasering people? Like, obviously, I feel like a PK would work a little bit better here. So let's grab that. And I'll show you just, this is just, a massive. Let's try a massive, because the massive doesn't have an animation. So if you're fighting this guy and you're literally fatigue bouncing, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Look at this thing. This is not even fair anymore to fight. This becomes like one of the most annoying, you become an annoying player to fight, like one of those guys. But from your perspective, you're pulling off a nasty clip, right? So practice the fatigue jump, and you could chain it. Like if after a regular wall jump, you're in fatigue mode already. So you could start chaining where you just regular wall bounce, you fatigue jump here, go back here, fatigue jump, pull off a regular wall bounce. You see how it can build upon itself, and it becomes easier to do the more you do it. So yeah, that's the fatigue jump. That's a lot more useful in close range situations. If you have a little bit more distance, sure, pull off that's the regular wall bounce. But if you're in like a close range situation, you need to go over this wall, just fatigue jump over it. Okay? Very, very, very important trick, but it's very crucial to learn. Now, the next technique is I think it's very important to bring this up now, because a lot of people used to, originally, the Superglide is one of the strongest movement techs in Apex, okay? This is probably the most crucial movement tech that you want to learn, other than any of the fancy stuff we'll talk about later, but learn this. This is originally what was the Superglide, which is now called the MANTLE boost. Okay, so learn this, and I'll show you exactly how to do this, but just look at the amount of movement that I'm getting in order to be able to do something like that. I mean, it's crazy. From a standstill position, right? I'm not just running here out in the open. I'm flying myself forward, right? I'm not even playing Valk, which is my main character. So a mantle boost is essentially an Apex kind of, the devs of this game wanted to kind of showcase this as an official ability, because the Superglide before was just hard to do. Like, it's frame dependent. Before, you'd have to time your frames perfectly to a jump and a crouch at the exact same time, and then you jump together, and then you pull off a wall, not a wall bounce, you pull off a Superglide. But now it's given in the game. Actually, this mantle boost is actually faster, and it launches you further than a Superglide itself. So, practice this one, because this is free. This is a free movement tech that you'll end up learning. This one has, behind you, this is going to be a little trail streak that shows that you did the mantle boost, and there's going to be a little whoosh noise. You see that? Look. So, that's the main thing. But other than that, you'll still get the movement tech and everything, and you're just going to be able to eliminate the enemies a lot more cool and a lot more style. So go to your settings, and then go to your HUD UI, and then you're going to go to your movement, and then you're going to go to your mantle boost activation. Keep that to jump, and then your mantle boost UI, keep that to full. Okay. Because every time you climb something, at the very end of your climb, you see the little, you see the white dot, right? First, you see that. But do you see how this little animation shows that you have to line it up to the white dot? That little circle will close right on time, and it'll tell you when to boost. And you just have to jump again. That's all. And if you time it right, you just boost at the very end of your climb, and then you'll end up doing the mantle boost. Okay? So this is free. Practice this in the range. Practice this. If you want to try to hit 10 reps, just do 10 in a row. Make sure you don't miss one. So, just keep counting. If you miss one, try again. And before you know it, this is like second nature to you. And if it's, like I said, if it says success, it'll just go away. It has a little blue. If it's too early, it says that you mantle boosted way too early. You see that? I'm trying to jump before, and it's way too early. So make sure you time it right. If it's too late, you're just going to end up jumping regularly, and now you don't end up doing the mantle boost. So time it right to that spot, and yeah, you should be good to go. On Axel specifically, this is huge because you get momentum on this already. So if you just jump and then you start sliding, you see how much speed you end up getting. Look at that thing. And then you could stack Superglides together, or mantle boosts together. So, you slide and then you do it like this. So practice this, because I guarantee if you have not learned this tech yet, this is going to increase just how much you're able to move across the map and push enemies. Look how fast this is. Look at this. That's not even fair. If you're pushing someone like that, they can't, bro, it's just game up. Just go back to the lobby at that point, right? So the mantle boost / the upgraded Superglide, make sure you practice that one, because that's gonna change your whole game. And just spend time in the range just doing these movement techs, okay? The next one is going to be the fade slide / quick slide. Now, this is essentially, like I said, with most characters, I'll do it on a non-Axel character because I feel like I don't want to be showing you guys a character on that you're gonna just need to play to maximize the movement. Like, what if you have a different main? So for this tech, like I said, remember earlier when you take one step, or you take a single step, you can't slide. You see I get the dead slide there? See that? I can't instantly, like, I have to, if I try to walk through the store, I have to actually walk all the way through to slide. See how I get a dead slide even halfway, even if like 3/4, no, around like the 75% marker, I can actually slide. But right before I enter the next door. No, not even. Yeah, it's a really long time until I can slide. Cause look, that's a dead slide. I'm not moving anywhere. But if I wait a little bit longer, then I could slide. So the reason why that happens is because your weapon slows you down. Like whatever weapon you hold, and most people think, I'm gonna hold the pistol, it's gonna make me move faster. No, you move the same speed if you're carrying a charge rifle, okay, guys, or a rampage fully stocked. Okay, so if you have a weapon out, you need to take at least 3 or 4 steps in order to be able to slide. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slide. 1, 2, 3, slide. 1, 2, 3, slide. 1, 2, 3, slide. So if you don't have a weapon out, if you have your gun holstered, you could slide like right away, instantly. You see that? From a standstill position, like if you're here, usually you'd have to run here and then slide, because you can't just do it from a standstill. Like if you're fighting someone, see that? There's a dead slide. But if you have your weapon holstered, I can slide right away. See how quick that is? So to use this in situations, the fade slide / quick slide, just start practicing holstering your gun. That's all you gotta do. Like, it's just the Y button or / triangle on a controller, PlayStation. Just practice holstering, and when you holster, then you slide, jump. Like for the one we talked earlier, holster, slide, jump. Okay, holster, slide, jump. Because you could do it instantly. If you just go stand here and slide jump, you can't. But if you holster, slide jump, then you can. See the difference there? So you look at this guy, slide jump, get your gun back out. There's a way to do it instantly that I'm going to show you guys, where you're like here, and that's a very specific timing. Okay, so you're going to make sure you have your weapon out first, okay, and then you holster your gun, and then you're gonna this is a very crucial step. You're gonna get your gun back out with Y or triangle, and then you slide jump. Okay, does that make sense? So, weapon out, holster, unholster, and then slide jump. You do that, you just practice that slowly. Okay, if you can't do this fast, perfect, that's fine. Holster, unholster, slide jump. I can't do it now because you have to increase the speed. Holster, unholster, slide jump. Now, do you see how I can get the instant slide? Because the game thinks that you're still holstered even though you have your weapons already coming out. So that's the cool way to do it, where you can instantly slide from like, you basically have momentum when there's no momentum at all. So I'm able to shoot, slide, and then re-challenge this guy. So the way that people do it in scenarios is if they want to shoot, they want to slide, and then they re-attack, because you're not killing dead time by just running out in the open. You prevent all of that with this. So practice this one. Obviously on Axel, I feel like this thing is even more broken, because you just keep sliding, even if you just do that. And like I said, she has literally 0 dead slides, so it makes it even easier for her, like that. So yeah, this is the season to learn all the movement tech. So I'm glad you guys have made it to this video so far, if you've been watching all the way through. After the fade slide / quick slide, the next thing you want to learn is bunny hopping. Now, like I said, in gameplay, you want to make sure your toggle, on your controller, you want to make sure your crouch button set to toggle. This is the easiest way that I have learned to bunny hop is, look at my A and B. I'm just interchanging my jump and crouch to be able to get the bunny hop in. Now, Axel, like I said, is really strong because she's like Horizon in a way, that she can turn whenever she wants to in the air. She has like, Horizon has air strafing, she has like ground strafing. So you could just get in and out of situations really, really, really quick with Axel. Like you could try this on other legends, but you just can't turn like the way that as fluid as she can. And if you have speed, you just go faster. So like with her tactical, look at that. So, you know, just practice on Axel, like I said. And once you get the hang of that, you could go back to hold if you feel like you can do it like that. And then all you have to do with this, it's actually probably a lot easier this way. You just end up holding your crouch while you're running, and then you just hit your jump. You're not having to spam jump, crouch. Okay? For me, the other one works better. I know it's kind of crazy to say, but experiment in which you feel like is more comfortable for you. Okay? So just jump, crouch, is the toggle, and then jump while holding your crouch is your hold. I want to check with Axel because Octane used to be able to heal while bunny hopping. Let's go ahead and see if Axel has that ability as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh no, it doesn't look okay. So it looks like they don't have that on Axel because that would be broken. But if you have your tactical, oh yeah, so you have a little bit of that ability to do that. Okay, that's pretty cool. So Octane is the only character right now who can technically, yeah, see, he can heal while bunny hopping. So if you're an Octane main, or if you want to learn how to play Octane, he's still, because a lot of people are like, oh, Axel's way stronger than Octane now, or whatever. Axel doesn't have that ability to bunny hop and heal at the same time. For what we just tested out. Octane, let's watch this. Oh yeah, I mean, we're still in business, guys. We're still in business. So, definitely try Octane out if you have not got the chance, because he is still the cool movement demon that you know. Now, the next movement tech I'm going to show you guys is the Zipline Super Jump. Now, you obviously need to be, you know, with ziplines, which there's going to be a lot in the map anyway, so you're going to learn. This is essential to learn this one. If you interact with a zipline by you know, riding it, and then you jump, then you could get a cool little thing where you could get a lot of distance covered quick. See that? And if you shorten the time in which you do it, it feels like you're not even interacting with the zipline itself. You see how it interact and then jump? See how fast that is? So that's how some people do the zipline jump. That's the zipline regular jump almost. It's better than regular jumping because look, I'm gonna try to regular jump. I'm not even making it to that at all. I'm literally missing it. But if I zipline jump, regular jump, I'm definitely making it over that. I'm clearing it because I got a little bit more distance. But a zipline super jump, guys. Look at, yeah, you probably didn't expect that, right? So obviously it beats this. It beats this. And I mean, it just tops everything. I mean, look at the distance I clear on this thing. I mean, that's crazy. So yeah, try this out. It's gonna blow your mind. Also, I need to make sure I'm gonna set my crouch back to toggle there. See how it's easier to slide on Axel with this? Yeah, I know. Try this. Like I said, try on toggle. It's gonna change your mind. But yeah, this is a zipline super jump. Like this allows you to do it so quick. And on regular, you know, zip lines like this, where they're not, you know, they're horizontal, not vertical, you can jump so high because this is a regular jump. Oh, this is a regular jump at first, and this is a zipline regular jump, and then this is a zipline super jump. Okay. Now to do this right, all you got to do is go to make sure you're on your if you look at my buttons there, I'm just pressing interact and then jump. That's it. Interact, jump. Now I use paddles on my controller, but I'm not even using my paddles for this because I've tried it on paddles in the back of my controller, but it's not consistent. Like right now I'm trying it and it's sometimes I'll end up missing because I think some of the paddles like don't register it fast enough, but your face buttons. So if you have a regular controller, this might be an advantage for you because I'm just pressing interact jump jump and I can get it 100% of the time. It won't miss. So I'm just pressing XAA or square XX if you have PS4 controllers. Bam. Interact jump jump. And it has to be at that speed where you can feel it. Interact jump jump. Oh. Interact jump jump. Okay? Interact jump jump. And if you're trying this right now, like in the range, use my voice as a kind of a guide. So like, interact jump jump. It has to be that speed. It can't be interact jump jump. Or it can be interact jump jump. Interact jump jump. No, it has to be interact jump jump. It has to be like that fast. Okay? That it has to be that speed, because at that speed the game thinks that you're jumping twice, and then it literally launches you in the air so fast. I mean, it's insane. And obviously if you're playing Axel, right, you could land back on the ground, and then that gives you some momentum as well to slide around. So, you know, practice this, guys. Practice this. The zipline super jump will get you far. Because, you know, a lot of, like, if you're trying to go up there, if you do that normally, you get shot at because the zip is so slow, right? Or if you try, obviously the worst way is to just climb this. Don't do that. Right? But if you're here and then you zipline super jump, bam, look at that. Oh my gosh, I just cleared all that in an instant. So practice that zipline super jump when you get the chance. And let me know in the comments if you can get the timing down for that, because that's a very, very crucial one. Now, the last movement tech that I normally talk about in my movement guides is the mantle jump. This is originally where you would, you know, if you have a zip line, you could go here. There's a even faster way to do it where you look down and all that stuff. But I realize now with the implementation of, with the mantle boosting, like doing this, it kind of gets rid of that too, because this tech is probably the hardest movement tech to ever pull off, like if you're in controller. Because I have tried, I mean, I've been in the range probably for like over an hour now, and it's still difficult. And if you try this with your mantle boost option set to jump, it's hard to do it. I'll do it in slow-mo of what it should look like, where you go to zip, you go here, you go here in this mantle, you would technically walk forward and then back up and then look up or something, and then you would go up here, which is cool. I mean, that's a move tech that you can learn in my previous videos if you want to go check those out. But for right now, I would recommend, not spending the time like in your days, because this can take you weeks to months to master. But with a mantle, since the mantle boost has come in, not the mantle jump, because that's the one I'm trying to show you guys earlier. The mantle boost, this gets rid of 99% of people's problems with movement. So, like I said, practice that, and once you're, like I said, with a mantle boost as well, sorry, I forgot to mention this earlier, you could go back to the movement section, and then you could just turn the UI to hide prompt, and you're not going to get you're just going to get the actual symbols, and if it's exceeded, it's just going to turn blue, and if it's too early, it's going to stay red. But if you really want to keep that off, like minimal is, I think that's just the circle, right? And that's cool to have, but I literally keep mine set to none. Like, I just feel it when I move forward. You see how I have no indication if I failed or not, but obviously I know when I hit it, because look at that. I mean, look at the speed in which I'm going here. It's insane. So yeah, I mean, Axel, like I said, try her, because if you're all these movement techs kind of are much stronger because Axel is now here. And since Axel is the newest legend, I actually spent a really long time making a very, very complete guide for her. So that's the next video that I recommend you to watch, because if you know all this movement tech, it won't work if you don't know how to use her abilities as well. So learn how to do that. Here's the updated guide right in front of your screen. Go ahead and click that guide. I will see you guys in that video. Have a good rest of your day.